Hi everyone, this is Shaurav here, and I'm the Modern Cubist. If you haven't checked my website, it's www.themoderncubistgallery.com. Please check out themoderncubistgallery.com. I am a artist, a painter, a designer, as well as a social media person. Today, I don't have particularly any specific topic because I like to make my discussions more spontaneous. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you my painting. This is a Cubism painting. It's called The Protector. It is made in the style of Cubism. Cubism was started almost 100 years back by Picasso, Pablo Picasso, and Georges Braque in Paris. And I'm reviving that art form in the more contemporary style. So if you see here, this painting, The Protector, it's basically about a parent and child together going through the journey of life, and they are together, uh, withering all kinds of storms as well as difficult situations. I'm sure that many of us here go through life challenges equally tenacious as well as on a day to day. We have to figure out a path, a way. I'm sure that there is always something, whether it's career, relationship, uh, be it wealth, friendship, family, whatever the case may be. Oh, since we are talking about art, I also have a piece there, which is a circular piece that's inspired by yet another artist, uh, but that is for a later time. But if you're interested in that particular painting as well, just let me know. Do send me a comment, and you can always reach out to me on my through my website. It's www.themoderncubistgallery.com. I'll put a link in the under the video. I also have art prints if you're interested to buy. So the topic for today is I was thinking to talk a little bit about Ikigai. So what is Ikigai? Ikigai is basically a Japanese concept which means reason for living. It is it is more towards a spiritual aspect of the beingness, of the isness. When we talk about Ikigai, it is about taking pleasures in small things, in practicing harmony, love, and peace, introspection, and taking little steps in life, small steps at a time. If you have a goal which is this big, you need to cut it down into smaller pieces, into smaller chunks. And as you take those bite sized tasks and achieve them one by one, the accumulation of that is towards your purpose, towards the larger goal. To give you a better example, you take a child who is learning to walk. When a child is learning to walk, first thing the child is learning to do is sit up, right? That is the first step. The child tries to sit up or roll. Even before that, the child is rolling, and then the child learns to sit up with the back straight. That is what the child is trying to do. And then the child starts crawling, and as it is crawling, it's holding on to some support. And with the help of that support, the child is then able to, you know, uh, put a force to enable the child to stand. Once the child is able to stand, then the child takes the first step, and then yet another one. In that process, the child falls and tries again and tries again and tries again, and slowly the child is able to take a few steps together, gain the confidence, and then eventually the child starts walking. And then the child is able to walk, run, and fully enforced with all kinds of movements. As in my case, I could tell you that I have seen children who started walking way later in life, but they took the first steps. They never gave up. That is the most important thing in life. You don't give up, because if you give up, then you will never accomplish the task. So anyways, ikigai is hinged on the whole philosophy of, doing smaller tasks, bite-sized tasks, and accumulating it towards your goal. That is originally the concept of ikigai. And as you accomplish these small tasks, you enjoy the journey. You take um, full pleasure and satisfaction in doing so. If you have seen videos from Japan, be it art or even cooking or culinary, I remember seeing one particular fisherman from Japan who follows this concept of ikigai, and he goes to the market like 2 o'clock in the morning, just when the ship arrives with the catch, and he looks for the best fish. I think it was the tuna. He looks for the best tuna from the catch, and then he's able to pick that fish, fine cut it, and roll it into sushi. And he takes his pride in doing that. So that is a classic example of an ikigai. Similarly, for an artist, be it a sculptor or a painter, how you look at that particular art, how you enjoy the present moment in creating the art is ikigai. Similarly, for a student who is studying, taking interest in the subject, absorbing every bit of knowledge, being curious about the subject, and loving it and gaining more knowledge through that curiosity and introspection is an ikigai. For an athlete, let's say somebody who's into sprinting, that person's ikigai is, enjoying and striving how to achieve that 1 second benefit, right? So ikigai plays in multiple different forms. Now, in the more contemporary sense, you have seen ikigai sometimes being described as those four circles, right? So let me talk a little bit about that and how the ikigai that I talked about embraces this philosophy of the intersection of the four circles. So I don't have a visual here to draw on board or to kind of show you, but imagine that there are four circles, one circle on top, one on the side, one below, and one on the side again, right? So there are four circles. Let's say the top circle is what you love, right? What you love doing. What you love doing, let's say in my example, I love creativity. I love painting. I love digital media. I love writing poetry. I love watching art movies. So these are some of the things that I love. So take a pen and paper as we are going with it together. In the first circle, right, or you can even list it down, what are the things you love, right? When you get up in the morning, you love to do that stuff, be it making your coffee or, cooking or painting or singing, dancing, or playing video games, whatever it is you love, that is your first circle. Okay? All right. Then the next circle on the side is what are you good at, right? What are you good at? So let's think about stuff that you're good at. So in my case, I'm good at painting. I've had multiple exhibitions. People talk about my cubism art. Obviously that's something I'm good at. I'm also good at other creative avenues in terms of creative speaking, socializing. I enjoy parties. I am good at communicating with everybody. And I'm also good at some realms of spirituality. I'm good at my meditation. I've been doing it for many years. I go to gym, do workout, pull weights, do martial arts. So those are some of the things that I'm good at, right? So go ahead and, to fill in that circle of what you're good at, think about things that people have said, hey, you're pretty good at it. Or, you're pretty known for it, right? So those are some of the things you're good at. So write them down. What are the things you're good at? So now we completed two circles. What is it you love and what is it you're good at, right? Now when you look at things that you are good at and what you love, that basically is what is your passion, right? So those are the things that you're passionate about. So in my case, I'm passionate about painting. I'm passionate about talking to people. I'm passionate about having fun, about parties, visiting galleries, right? Going to museums, traveling the world, art and culture, right? So basically, that's where your passion is. Okay, great. Now let's talk about the circle on this side, right? So on this side of the circle are things, what is it that the world needs, right? So we talked about the two circles, which is about you or the I, right? What is it I love? What is it I am good at, right? Now let's talk about something about the other, that is the world, that is the other people. What is it that the other people need, right? What does the world need, right? So, for example, today the world is going through this, recession time, right? And people have a need for job security, or they have a need for wealth security. Let me just put it that way, because job security is an elusive term. But let's talk about uh, the need for wealth, right? The need for money. That's what most people would say. Hey, this is what the world needs. They also need peace because there's a lot of, you know, struggle and conflicts going around in the world. So the world needs peace, calm. World needs love. This is very important. Love is something that is not just in romantic books. Love is, connection with the other. Doesn't have to be a physical connection. It can be an emotional connection. So let me use the word emotional connectedness. The world needs an emotional connectedness today. A lot of that emotional connectedness is available through social media, right? That's how we get to know each other across the world. We are connected on a day to day basis, right? We know our followers, we know the people we chat with, we know the people who like our work. So there is a social connectedness, right? An emotional connectedness. Then the other thing that I can think of the world needs today is attention and appreciation. You know, there are people today who are struggling. They're really struggling. They're lonely people. They need somebody to listen to them. They need attention. They need appreciation because they may be going through depression. They may be going through really hard times and there's nobody to talk to them. You need somebody to talk to feel appreciated. So that's, that is what the world needs. A lot of it that the world needs is what you need as well, because ultimately the world is a reflection of you. So we talked about what the world needs, right? So write down what in your understanding or what you believe that the world needs, right? Great. So we covered three circles. What is it you love? What are you good at? What is it that you believe that the world needs? Okay. So, by the way, what the world needs and what you love, right? If you combine these two, that is, I love something and the world needs it, then that is a very good combination, right? That is giving you a mission, right? A mission that, okay, this is my mission in life. I love this and I want to give it to the world because the world needs it. That's my mission, right? So we talked about passion on this side and we talked about mission on this side. Now let's talk about the last circle, the circle below. The circle below is what would you get paid for, right? What would create wealth? Now this is something also very important because wealth is very important for our survival, for our living, for living a healthy, comfortable lifestyle, for taking care of our loved ones, our family, our friends, near and dear, right? So it is an important circle. What is it that the world or what is it you can get paid for? What would create wealth, right? Now you can think about different things that create wealth, right? So for example, a lot of people are in professions. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, business people, right? High paying jobs or high paying businesses. Can you think about some of the things that either you're involved in that pays very well, or you see your friends or people on the media who are getting paid very well, right? So note down these things that get paid very well. Now remember this, that some things, many times, what pays you really well may not be something that you really love, right? I know for sure, like there are so many people who do a job, who are in high paid jobs, but they not necessarily really love it, right? In the sense, it's not that Monday morning they're jumping out of bed to get to work, right? If you are, then you're very close to the ikigai. But all said and done, what you get paid for and what you love, right? We'll have to see if the two come together. Or even what you get paid for, are you really, really the best at it, right? Maybe you're striving to be the best at it, which is great. Or you're getting paid for something which is very great, but you're not necessarily feeling it, or you're not necessarily able to put 100% to it. Maybe the passion is missing, or you're not really something that you're very good at it. There's something else that is missing, right? So anyways, what you do in your work, what pays you is your profession, right? What pays you is your profession, and your profession intersecting with what you're good at is that combination that the world is running towards nowadays in terms of the profession, right? So we got the four circles now: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what pays well, right? Now we have to see, how do we get these together, right? How do we get these together? Now that is our sweet spot, right? Because it cannot be always that you're passionate about something but it doesn't pay you well, right? That's a starving artist, and we don't want to be in that zone, right? I love doing my art, but then I have to think about money every hour of the day. That's not fun. Or I'm at a high paying job, but it sucks, and my Monday is gloom and doom. We don't want to be there. Or I care about the world, and I'm on the streets, raising the banner, or slogans, but then I don't have money to eat, right? So we don't want these extremes. So anyway, so let's discard this negative thoughts. Let's focus on the four circles, right? Now we got the four circles. Now let's see, if you have written down each of these circles, right? What is it that comes together, right? Now, it might sound very easy because there are a lot of videos out there that just say, okay, you make these four circles, find the intersection, and that's your ikigai. Boom. No. So this is where, pay attention now. When you look at the four circles, right, coming like this, right, there is a void in the middle, right? So actually the circles, they don't intersect each other unless and until you push them from all sides. Otherwise, there is like a void in the middle, right? There's a hole in the middle. You don't want a hole in the middle, because the hole in the middle is where the confusion is. That is nothingness, so that is confusion. If you just say, okay, you look at it separately, then you will not be able to get the intersection. So how do we get this ikigai to work? Now, I have been trying the ikigai myself for many years, right? And I've tried these circles for so many different times, on paper, on my computer, on chart sheets, name it. Every time I make these circles, what I fill in these circles are different. Why? Why is it that what I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, what pays money, which I did 2 years back, is going to be different what I do now? The reason is very simple. Ikigai is not a static concept. Number one, ikigai is not static. It's not that I got these four things figured out, this is my ikigai and it's going to be my ikigai for life. No. Ikigai is a changing thing, right? It's just like the universe. Law of universe. Everything changes. Everything is vibration, right? Everything is moving. So your ikigai is also going to go through ebbs and flows. It is going to go through transformations as time changes, as you go through your journey in life. So your ikigai of yesterday and the ikigai of today is different, right? So that's number one. This is what I realized. Number two is, ikigai is about practically doing what you have written down in each of the circles. What do I mean by that? Let's just say you say, I love painting. Okay, how many paintings have you done to say that you have loved it, right? In my case, I have more than 1,000 paintings, right? And I've been painting for the last decade or so. And I know I love it, right? Second thing is, what are you good at? You can say, you know what, I'm good at photography, I'm good at cooking, or I'm good at academics, or I'm good at whatever it is, right? Now, if it is just theoretical, right, you may not have a strong conviction about it. You may not have something which can prove as an example, right? So let's say for me, I'm good at cubism, I'm good at painting. How do I prove this? Because I've had like more than 25 exhibitions in the last so many years. I've had curated shows, I've had solo shows. People have bought my art, right? So there is a word out there that I'm known for, right? So it is a practical based example of what I'm good at, right? Similarly, what does the world need? So if you just say, the world needs love, world is sure, but what is it that you have witnessed in action to say that the world really needs this, right? So in my example, I can tell you, um, when I open up YouTube, right, and I look for affirmations, I look for positive videos on life coaching, I look at positive videos by different personalities, right? Different great life coaches or even philosophers of the past, or I listen to things that are esoteric, that are about the unknown, that about the laws of the universe, right? Those are things I watch because that's what I need and the world needs that, right? It's a practical essence of what the world needs. Similarly, what pays? Now, you might say, well, a doctor gets paid very well. But are you a doctor? Have you witnessed the pay, or do you know somebody who gets paid $1 million a year? And is it truly that person is getting paid that much money? So, what I'm trying to say is when we are trying to connect these four circles, right, it has to be on a real practical witness based example. Okay, so we got these four. Now let's try to squeeze them together, right? Now you got four practical based, witness based, fact based concepts, right? What is it you're good at? What is it you love? What does the world need? What pays money? Let's try to squeeze these in together, right? Now, how do we do that? This is where Ikigai becomes a little bit of a trial and show and tell. So one trick I will tell you how I work out my Ikigai for the current moment. As I said, Ikigai is going to keep changing. So don't bet on one Ikigai for the rest of your life. And by the way, you cannot have just one purpose for the rest of your life. There's a recent article that came on HBR, Harvard Business Review, which says one needs to have multiple vocations, multiple professions, multiple passions that formulate together, right? So it's not single dimensional, it's multi-dimensional, right? So in my case, when I talk about Ikigai, I would say that certainly one of the things that makes me stand out is design, right? I'm good at visual arts as a painter. I am pretty good at design. I feel passionate about it. And in the world of content creation or analytics, or call it pattern recognition, be it in the stock market, which I'm quite involved with, or business intelligence and analytics, storytelling, visualization, social media creation. That's where the world is, and that's where the money is. So for me, that is the sweet spot. That is where my ikigai is, because it brings my creativity, my analytical mindset, and also allows me to push through onto social network where I can meet people on social networks, get to meet them personally. I also like to bring in my cubism into this mix where I can apply those multi-aspect um, dimensions to design as well as painting. So so it's a basket of offerings in the Ikigai. It's not just one. So again, I'm saying it's not just one, it's not the thing, but it is a combination of many, right? It is painting, design, visual art, visualization, pattern recognition, enabled on multiple disciplines, be it in the visual arts painting domain, be it in the stock trading domain, be it in technology, be it in social media, and many more to come, artificial intelligence. But my base of visual creativity and design is the ikigai, is the fuel that I'm bringing and enabling it with multiple disciplines. So again, uh, I hope it's not confused you, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that your ikigai at the moment is a quality. Let's just put it that way. It is a quality or an attribute of you. It is a characteristic of you, which could be a combination, a blend of many things. And you take that blend and then you apply it on various disciplines in the world today. What are the disciplines? Those are the disciplines that the world needs. And because the world needs that, you're solving a problem, it pays you well, right? So I hope I've been able to give you this dimensionality of Ikigai. So there is a time movement of Ikigai. There is a application of Ikigai in terms of a practical sense, and we talked about that. And there is an application of enablement of that essence, of that attribute, of your characteristic through multiple disciplines, right? If you have any questions, please post a comment, and be sure to check out my website. It is themoderncubistgallery.com. Thank you so much, and feel free to subscribe and like this video. It helps me grow, and I hope to connect with you very soon. Thank you.